Hamilton have brought out another khaki. And this time, it is awesome. Let's get into it. Yes, and welcome to the Mad Watch Collector Show. This one's dedicated to a little brand called Hamilton, a brand steeped in history, once American, now Swiss, and their watches have a definite look to them. The majority have been inspired by their military watches from the past, and that is no bad thing whatsoever. Now, when I saw today's watch online, the only thing I really could say to myself was,
Hamilton, take my money!
Because this watch has the potential to be a huge smash hit for the brand. And I am talking about the Hamilton Khaki Field Expedition. And it is a watch made, to my eyes anyway, as a direct competitor to the Seiko Alpinist. A watch that Seiko have been milking a lot lately. And for me, I think it's a good move by Hamilton. Now, please wait around till the end. I've got some controversial things to say. I'm not owned by Hamilton. They didn't pay me for this review. And I think a couple of things need to be said that the other reviewers just aren't. Anyway, a huge thanks to Francis & Gay Jewelers that have sent me 2 of these beautiful watches. The new release comes in a 37mm and a 41. So Hamilton are catering for everyone. They come in white dials, blue dials, black dials. And it's the black dial that you can only get the bracelet with, so obviously I needed that one. But being the owner of a Khaki Field mechanical and having reviewed the Khaki King, is this watch a step up from those, or is it a step down? Also, at the end of the show, my wife gives her opinion of this watch. Anyway, very excited about this one. I'm a huge Hamilton fan, so let's get on with it. Are you khaki ready? Let's go! So here we are, the Hamilton Khaki Field Expedition. I feel like the word expedition has been done to death on watches, but still, not on a khaki it hasn't. But aren't these a couple of handsome boys? Very rugged looking, very tool-tastic, built for roaming around in the wilderness. Unlike the Field Mechanical, which has a very elongated lug look, this is a very compact watch, more compact than the Khaki King. I'm going to concentrate on the 37mm for this review and then come back to the big boy later. But this is a top look, isn't it? Taking inspiration from the Khaki Field, from the Khaki Automatic, from the Khaki King, and coming out with another very capable tool watch. I mean, there is no polishing to this case whatsoever, and even though it is a new watch, it still has that good old-fashioned Hamilton look to it. And first impressions, this watch is as good in the hands as it was online. Quick spec check! Right, so we've got a 37mm case. It's 11.8mm thick. For a watch with an automatic movement, that's pretty good. We've got 43.8mm lug to lug, very compact lug to lug size, and a strapaholic lug width of 20mm. If you buy this watch, you are definitely going to want to put it on nylon straps, rubber straps, leather straps.
A lot of straps.
Its monochromatic color scheme means it's going to look good with practically anything you pair it with. The dial is protected by a beautiful sapphire glass with AR coating. We've got an awesome big chunky crown at 3 o'clock. That, coupled with the screw down exhibition case back, gives this watch a water resistance of 100 meters, which is sort of the sweet spot, isn't it? Much that I love my Khaki Field mechanical, God knows why they made it only 50 meters. So maybe with these new releases, Hamilton have been listening. Now, if we talk about that display case back, it's... oh, for Brutus, get down! I'm not playing ball at the minute. Darling, Brutus wants playing. One more. Drop. Ready, steady, go fetch! Ha 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 ha! And welcome to another episode of the Design House, where today it's all about Hamilton. Ooh. A phenomenal tool watch with something a little bit beautiful around the back. Let's take a look. Oh, well, there we go. The H10 in all its glory. A display sapphire sweetness. The mechanism, the machining, a quick trip to Cog City. Cog. Brushing around the display is sensational. However, I would like a bit more display. Lovely signature rotor and enough moving parts to make anyone's trousers a bit moist. Ooh. So there you go, a beautiful tooly watch with a lovely display surprise. I'll see you for another edition of the Design House. Cut. Bouncy balls. Lovely.
Could you just click that like button, please? It really helps the channel. Thank you.
Okay, on to the bezel. And no, this is not a dive watch, but it still has a 60-click bezel, bi-directional, which means you can move it both ways. And it has north, east, south, and west on it. As long as you know your hemispheres and you know your daylight savings time, you can genuinely find the correct direction you want to travel in. Most phones don't have service in the wilderness, and if you don't have a compass to spare, this could be valuable. But to me, it's kind of pointless. It's more a fidget spinner for me, as I'm never gonna need it, am I? I may go camping one day, but I'll probably only pitch up a tent 100 meters away from the car. When it comes to dive watches, I genuinely use the bezel to time things. Anyway, here's the click. It reminds me of the Zin 104's bezel, not a definite ratchet, more like pushes. And as actual bezel actions go, this isn't bad, but I can't see me ever using it. Super! We got a very solidly made bracelet, solid end links, 3-link design, solid links. Those links are held together using pins with your typical Hamilton milled clasp. The one thing I am surprised about is there's no on-the-fly adjustment with the clasp. This is not a cheap watch, and I expected it to be a bit of a level up from the Khaki King, but maybe I'm asking for too much. Right, let's look at the face. Dial time. And this to me is close to perfection. One, we don't have a date complication.
Yes.
But the execution of legibility and design, for my eyes at least, is brilliant. These are different numerals to the ones on the Khaki Field Mechanical. A bit more squished, and I think I prefer them. It being a khaki means you're gonna get some faux patina somewhere, and it's with the handset and the rectangle markers for every 5 minutes. I do prefer the old italic logo. It still works, and to see the seconds hand interacting with all those markers going around the outside of the dial, well, that's just lovely. So we've got lume on the hands, lume on those 5-minute markers. Out of 10, how much does this puppy glow? Yeah, if you want a watch with very, very good lume, Hamilton are not your company. I've never taken in a Hamilton watch, tested the lume and thought, whoa, you know, it does a job, but that's about it. Powering this new release is Hamilton's H10, which is basically an ETA 2824 dumbed down from a 4 Hz movement to a 3 Hz movement just to increase a power reserve to 80 hours. It being a slower beat rate means that potentially this movement will wear less. Anyway, operating this watch is lovely. A big old grippy crown with a lovely whine to it. Hamilton always do good whines. This watch is also hackable, meaning the seconds hand stops when you pull the crown all the way out. Nice and simple, lovely jubbly.
Hello.
On my 6.5-inch wrist, and this is beautiful. The stainless steel bracelet certainly makes this watch look a little bit bigger than the 37mm. It's really hard to knock this watch at all, really. It looks good on the outside, maybe a bit of reflection, not as much anti-reflectiveness as they would like, but seriously, this watch is a winner. Bring out the big boy! So here's the 41mm on my 6.5-inch wrist, also 11.8 thick, only 47.9 lug to lug. It's still gonna fit on a lot of wrists. And if I did buy this one, I definitely get it off this strap ASAP. It is very stiff and it will take a lot of breaking in. Even though I can pull this watch off, my heart is definitely devoted to this 37mm. So there we go, a new khaki. I think that makes it 700 khakis. There's not a lot of negatives here. The dial, although it is new, it's what makes everything good about Hamilton. Its appreciation of its military history embodied in a new modern watch. The compass bezel is very pointless, but it is very good looking. And the all brushed look is my cup of tea. Okay, one, there's no need for a display case back. The H10 is not an attractive movement, and maybe if we did have a solid screw down case back, we might have been able to up the water resistance. But a true tool watch shouldn't have something that fancy on the back of it. No on the fly micro adjusts on the clasp. I think they could have done something with that. And you've got to say the lume isn't great. So something that so far no reviewers have really talked about. Now, a couple of years ago, you could get the Khaki Field mechanical for around £350. Not in 2023. Brand new, they are going for above 500 now, and doesn't really make them that affordable much anymore, even though I absolutely love these watches. The Khaki King, 2 years ago, could have bought for £500, now 700, and it's the same price for the Khaki Automatic. Now though, Hamilton really can't increase the prices of these. So what do? Come out with a brand new Khaki watch and slap on a price that they feel is now reflective of their catalogue moving forwards. £1,035 on the bracelet.
That is mental money.
I know I said how much I love the dial, but there's nothing applied on it. It's all printed. Even if we take the Khaki King, look at the dial. There's a little bit of refinement there. This watch is offering a little bit less and charging £300 more. Now, other reviewers make a point that this is a high-grade H10 movement. This is unlike a Powermatic 80 because it has no plastic bits in it. Am I supposed to be impressed with that? Is that saying that all you guys that bought a Tissot with a Powermatic 80 have been rightly mugged off? So do I recommend it to you guys? As a watch, it's fantastic. It ticks every single box I want ticking, apart from the price box. But if this is the way Hamilton are going to price all their new releases, it's going to price a lot of us out. Here it is, my wife's views of the Khaki Field Expedition. Yeah, this is all right. I like the case. It's quite unusual. Like it. Well, there you go. Maybe I should buy one now I've had the all clear from the wife. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Go and click there and join. Become a member. You'll love it. Or get some merch. You'll love that merch. And if I've got you for a few more minutes, why don't you check this beast out? Oh, this is fantastic. Yes, a lovely show. Go on, click it. Click it.